Welcome to Networking RX, a podcast devoted to helping business professionals like you enhance your networking skills in order to become more proficient giving and receiving quality business referrals and improving the overall quality of your life and the lives of those around you. The Networking RX podcast is a production of AmSpirit Business Connections, an organization whose mission is to empower business success through networking.
This is Frank Agin, founder and president of AmSpirit Business Connections, and I'm your host of the Networking RX podcast. Welcome back for another episode. For those who have subscribed, I appreciate that. Those who have referred others, I appreciate that as well. Today, I want to spend some time talking about smiling. Now, what does smiling have to do with networking? For those who have listened to the program, you have gotten the sense, hopefully you've gotten the sense, or it's my intent that you get the sense that networking is, and being successful at networking is really kind of a broad topic, and networking involves all the aspects of who you are, the habits you have, the attitudes you carry, and smiling is certainly part of that. Who do you want to hang out with? Somebody who is downtrodden and glum, sad looking, or somebody who's smiling, somebody who's welcoming with their appearance. And certainly most people, I shouldn't say all people, but most people will say smiling. They would like to be with the smiling person. And so that certainly is one of the reasons why smiling is important. It draws people to you. But there are really other reasons that smiling can and is important to being a good networker. Now, there are studies out there that say smiling makes us more attractive and makes us look younger, and certainly we can make the argument that that helps us from a networking perspective, but I don't really want to kind of go down that path. But what smiling does is it makes us feel better, and when we feel better, we're certainly in a better mood. And when we're in a better mood, we're better to be around, and so smiling kind of puts us in that position. Now, how this all happens, it really kind of is a chemical sort of a thing. And this I got from Psychology Today, but there's an article that said there's magic in your smile, but I'll quote a passage in here. Each time you smile, you throw a little party in your brain. The act of smiling activates neural messaging that benefits your health and happiness. For starters, smiling activates the release of neuropeptides that work towards fighting off stress. Neuropeptides are tiny molecules that allow neurons to communicate. They facilitate messages to the whole body that you're happy, sad, angry, so on and so forth, excited. The feel-good neurotransmitters, dopamine, endorphins, and serotonin are released when a smile flashes across your face. So there it is. It's chemical. Now, I didn't do well in high school chemistry, didn't take it in college, so I really can't get into all of that, the organic chemistry behind dopamine and endorphins and serotonin, but when we smile, those things are released. And so it puts us in a better mood. And here's the other thing I got out of this Psychology Today article, is that when you smile, other people smile. Smiles are contagious. We have these, and again, I'm not a brain scientist, I'm not a neuroscientist, but when we smile, other people smile because we have these, what they're called motor or mirror neurons in our brains, and we tend to mimic other people. If you've ever sat and talked with somebody, I noticed this. If somebody is talking and somebody crosses their arms, the other person will cross their arms. Or if you're sitting around a table and somebody leans back and crosses their legs, you're more likely to lean back and cross your legs. And it's a little more complicated than that. Certainly people who are more superior are going to kind of lead that dance more so than the subordinate. But when you're in functions, when you're talking with people, you're tending to mimic what other people do. And the whys and the hows, it's sort of a survival mechanism. We want to be similar. We want to be liked. And so we follow what other people do. And so one of those things is smiling. Smiling is one of those things that when we smile, others smile. And the author of the article, There's Magic in Your Smile, talks about starting his day off kind of having a bad mood. He was in a minor fender bender, put him in a bad mood. He goes to a little French cafe, and the server smiles at him. And he smiles back, and it puts him in a good mood. So that's the second benefit of smiling is when we smile, other people smile. And when they smile, they get those same chemical reactions in their brain, the dopamine, the serotonin, the endorphins. We're actually giving them that good feeling. So we feel good by smiling, and we allow other people to feel good by smiling. And not only are we attracted to people who smile, they look younger, they look healthier, they look happier. We want to be around those people, and probably part of the reason is because we smile and we feel good. And so if we're smiling and people are attracted to us, they're apt to do that because we make them feel good. We give them that little benefit, that little high by smiling. So that's a second benefit of smiling is, one, we feel good by smiling, but other people feel good by smiling as well. Another thing you'll hear about smiling is that it takes less muscles to smile than it does to frown. So I actually did some research on this. God, I love the internet. I mean, you can find out all sorts of answers. Before, you'd have to take a trip to the library and try and find that one book and find that one answer in there. And you probably couldn't because you'd have to pull it all together. But anyhow, I did some research on it, and it actually takes more muscles to smile than it does to frown. This article I stumbled across says it takes 12 muscles to smile and 11 to frown. Now, the problem is, a muscle is not a muscle is a muscle, and what they theorize is that smiling just takes less energy. It may take more muscles, but it just takes less energy based upon the muscles that are involved. So, little myth debunked right there. Somebody says, well, it takes less muscles to smile than frown. They're wrong. According to the internet, you got to trust the internet. But at any rate, and that's not really a part of this conversation. One of the things that is part of the conversation is that it's not always to say just smile is not always easy. I mean, certainly you need to do the things that you need to do to get yourself in a good mood. Especially if you're going to be amongst people, especially if you're going to be talking on the phone, doing a webinar, Zoom calls, whatever, you need to kind of have the right frame of mind. And I'm always angry at myself, which only makes the problem worse. I'm always angry at myself when I put myself in those situations and I'm not necessarily in the best of moods. It's just, I just feel like I'm hurting myself more than I would have. And it just makes the situation worse. Why do I do it? I don't know. We all do stupid things, and that's one of the many stupid things Frank Agin does. But we need to do the things that try and make us happy. And, it might be listening to music, it might be a cup of coffee, a glass of, a cup of tea, a spot of tea, whatever. Doing the things that make you happy. And I think that's different for other people. People will get up and they'll do affirmations in the morning and try and get themselves in the right frame of mind. Exercise is certainly something that can help you get you in the right frame of mind. All those things to kind of get you in the right frame of mind so you're approaching things and you can smile, because once you kind of smile, then you get that, what we'll call the virtuous cycle. If you remember from a few episodes ago, episode 169 with Melissa Hughes, which released on April 23rd, just wasn't long ago at all at this point. But what Melissa talked about was this virtuous cycle, that if we can kind of get things moving in the right direction and continue to focus on them moving in the right direction, the momentum continues to build and build and build until something intervenes and to take it down. And we have, to a degree, some control over those sorts of things. We can't control what people do to us, but we can control how we react to those things that people do to us. So you want to kind of get yourself in that virtuous cycle. So you have the ability to have that genuine smile. But the other thing I stumbled across is, let's say you have that day where you're not having it. you got to go to this event. It's going to be a great event. You're not having. You've had bad things happen one after the other. You've lost a great client. You had a fight with your kids or your spouse, the dog, whatever it might be, and you're just kind of in a bad mood. Didn't get a great night's sleep, whatever it might be. And I think we all have those days. Maybe not. Maybe I'm alone, but I think we all have those days where just things aren't working the way you need them to work. And conventional wisdom is, or what my chiding is stay at home, but it's a great event or great something, or you're going to have to meet with a client or whatever it is, and you got to get yourself in a great mood. What I've uncovered is a wonderful way to do it is just find some alone time and smile. Just smile. Force a smile. It's activating to a degree the muscles that you would normally use when you smile. Now, if you remember earlier this year, it was episode 142, which was released on January 21st of 2020. And the episode was called Powering Up. And in that episode, I discussed research where this has been shown, is that your posture drives your confidence. And if you have the right posture, the right standing posture, the right sitting posture, you can literally become more confident. And basically, your posture is sending signals to your body that this is what you should be feeling. So the question is, do you think your way to being happy, or do you think your way to being happy, or do you act your way to being happy or confident? And what they have shown is that by smiling, they've done research on this, by smiling, you trigger the release of those chemicals in your brain, the serotonin, the endorphins. And you may not be happy at first, but by smiling, by forcing that smile, those chemicals are being released, and then you're feeling good. And by the time you're done with that little exercise, you actually are happy. And so you are smiling. So just to kind of wrap this up, smiling's important. It makes us feel good. It makes us more attractive to other people, and I don't mean in a romantic sense, but just attractive in the sense of somebody that people want to be around. But by smiling, you give that same benefit to other people. You give the other people the benefit of those chemicals pouring into their system as well. And if you can't get yourself into that happy mood just by normal means, the cup of coffee or whatever it might be, just sit and smile. And by forcing that smile, you'll send a signal to your body that, hey, this person should be happy, and that you'll become happy. At any rate, let me wrap up by saying and reminding people we're looking to add quality people to our stable of franchisees. This is a unique franchise opportunity, the AmSpirit Business Connection program. It's geared for aspiring entrepreneurs or professionals to add on to what they're already doing. Again, all of our franchisees do something else. For a couple hours in the morning, a few mornings a week, our franchisees operate the AmSpirit Business Connection program. The rest of their week, they're accountants, they're attorneys, financial advisors, realtors, coaches, and consultants of various kinds.
Finally, so
if you are interested, contact
be sure
me.
to subscribe to the
I put an
Networking
email in
RX
the show notes, or
podcast
you
through
can use the
iTunes,
one
Overcast,
provided
or
at the end of the
however you receive
podcast.
your podcasts. Now get out and network with someone.
The Networking RX podcast is the copyright production of AmSpirit Business Connections. All rights reserved.